This is the Youth Power Summit. We're part of a big action for getting youth out to the polls coming up this upcoming fall.
This is about building power in the youth community. This is it's an opportunity to bring young people from across the state of Minnesota together to learn the skills of engaging and mobilizing young people.
We had a speaker this morning, Duluth City Councilor Tony Cuneo, and right now we're in the middle of trainings, basically grassroots tactics for running voter registration, get out the vote, voter mobilization, voter education, and basically making sure that the youth vote really turns out on election day.
I've seemed to see, especially in students, a little bit more of a drift towards this unified, like let's go to the polls and it doesn't matter who you're going to vote for, something that historically at least I hadn't seen, especially with get out the vote efforts. I've always seen a very partisan, very politicized approach.
Our goal isn't to get a candidate elected. Our goal is to make sure that young people, whoever they vote for, turn out in huge numbers.
We get young people registered to vote at 18, get them out to the polls. They'll vote for the rest of their lives, and that is just strengthening democracy in the long run.
With college students, they don't think that they can make a difference. I go and talk to classes all the time, and the first question I ask all the classes is how many people feel like politicians listen to them? And maybe we'll get one or two people who raise their hand.
I think youth have been left out mainly because politicians tend to ignore the issues that young people care about. So you look at what politicians are talking about, they're talking about prescription drugs, and young people care about the rising cost of tuition.
What I think is really going to turn out students this year is just kind of the growing movement of youth getting involved in politics.
And especially with students, you see a huge range of different issues that are dealt with. But there's not always the effort and the push to get students out to the polls.
There was a void in Minnesota on who was going to be getting young people out to vote. So we came up with the Youth Power Summit to bring young people from across the state together so that they can learn the skills that they need to run large-scale voter engagement drives on their campuses and turn out their peers to vote.
So I just got out of a training session and it was really energetic, it was really exciting, very interactive with the people involved in the training, kind of getting feedback from different campuses because we do represent over 15 campuses on this No Youth Vote Left Behind campaign.
It's hard to ask somebody to get involved in sort of advocacy work and organizing around issues if they're not taking that first step and registering to vote and getting out to the polls on election day. And so that's kind of our stepping stone to really engage young people in a broader sense in the political process.
No matter how you don't think politics affects you, it really does. And you can either sit back and passively just let it happen to you, or you can get involved and shape the kind of world that we live in.